What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bring you incredible guests from all over the world, so sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is an entrepreneur. She's a self-worth and confidence coach who stands behind big dreamers and high achievers looking to align with the fullness of who they are. And she is also a podcast host. Please welcome Charlsey Childers. Did I say your name right?
You did. A+ for you, Deanna.
Excellent. Welcome, Charlsey. I'm excited for this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to jam out with you.
So, you stand behind big dreamers and high achievers looking to align with the fullness of who they are. I love talking to coaches because not every coach is the same. They're all so unique and different on what they focus on. I want to hear what brought you to becoming a self-worth and confidence coach.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful question. And essentially, my mess became my message. I am very much a big dreamer and high achiever myself. I have always known that I am here to do big things in this world. I'm here to leave a lasting impact and leave a legacy. And at the same time, when I was in my corporate career and I felt the call to leave the corporate career, the life that I had paved and primed myself for, so for the listeners, maybe it's not corporate career, maybe it's something they always thought that when they got to a certain point, they were going to feel a certain way and they would be satisfied in that season for the rest of their lives. For me, that was not the case. And when I felt the call to leave corporate, like with so many big dreamers and high achievers, my insecurities came up, insecurities that had not been as clear to me as they were in that moment. And so really diving into why I didn't feel good enough to leave corporate, why I didn't feel good enough, like I would be good at anything else. And so that spiraled me and propelled me on a very in-depth personal journey of discovering what was going on within myself. And the moment that I experienced freedom and confidence and relief from that doubt and debilitating thoughts, I knew I was called to help other people like me in the same way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so when you were going through this evolution of yourself, is that what made you become what was that aha moment that said, okay, I want to become a coach and this is what I want to focus on?
Oh, another beautiful question. I absolutely love what is coming up for you right now. And for me, it was that distinct pivotal moment when I, in my season of digging deep within myself, and I was really focused on feeling worthy, feeling deserving, feeling like I had what it takes to take action steps on the more that I felt called to. When I truly experienced moments of relief from that doubt, when my days became a little bit more sunnier, if you will, when I was a little bit more lighter and happier with the way things are, knowing full well that where I am is not going to be where I'm ultimately going to be. And once I noticed that shift and recognized that shift within myself, and as an external confirmation, my husband, my family, my friends also noticed that I wasn't the same. I was not the same. And so it was undeniable within myself that, okay, so not only did I already have a bachelor's and master's in psychology, but I had already done so much self-led personal development stuff of really being in the trenches of what it's like when you're on the closet floor crying because you don't feel like you're a good mom, because you feel like you're failing. And so I knew that I had to help people. I had to help people get there. I had too many gems inside of me to keep it all in for myself.
That's beautiful. I love that. And so what kind of person, who was your perfect avatar?
Yeah, so the perfect quote unquote avatar, or the people I work with, are the people who know they are called for more. They know that they are called to go beyond the status quo of maybe what they have been told they are capable of achieving, maybe what they originally thought their life would look like, when they have something inside of them that keeps them up at night of, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to do this. But how? And one of the things I love most about big dreamers and high achievers, the go-getters, the driven ones, is because we are physically capable. We are so capable. Naturally, we are not only known as the strong ones in our family, the ones who appear to have it all together. We're the educated ones, the successful and already accomplished ones. And then at the same time, because our desires are so big and so great, it is so imperative for our inner belief, conviction, and worthiness and identity within ourselves to evolve with those desires.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that is
Do you have a success story of a client that you've worked with that you can take, maybe like that, not, don't share names, obviously, but take us through the journey that you helped them get to where they needed to be?
Yes, absolutely. All of my clients are my favorite because every story is different.
Every story is unique.
Exactly. And what works for somebody is completely different than what works for somebody else. One story that really sticks out to me and that I hang on to in my heart it was actually one of my first clients. She came to me because she felt like all she had done in life is go through and check the boxes. She
Yeah.
got married. She also got her master's. She had the house. She had the kids. She was a speech therapist. And, once again, from the outside, she appeared to have it all together. She appeared, well, of course you have a good life. Of course you have a great life. But inside, she did not feel herself.
Right.
She felt very disconnected from what she really wanted to do and from her happiness. And so supporting her in unpacking and acknowledging those things first about herself, that, the way she talked to herself was not very nice. What she believed about herself was not very supportive of where she wanted to go and who she wanted to be. And so really walking through her on that journey. And to make a long story short, we were able to pinpoint that when she was around 4 years old, she was in a ballet class and her mom dressed her in a leotard. And that leotard happened to be, I guess, the wrong quote unquote leotard for that day. So every other girl in the ballet class was wearing, if you will, a pink leotard. And
Okay.
she was wearing maybe a black leotard. And in that moment, she had internalized that being different is a bad thing. And so even as a 4-year-old, so all throughout her life, she was repeating the pattern of the
Yeah.
people pleasing, the living up to other people's expectations. And once we were able to pinpoint that of where that core internalization was coming from, obviously, as a 40-something-year-old, she intellectually knew that being different wasn't all that bad, but she had
Right.
been carrying around this belief system and pattern within herself of a 4-year-old. And so being able to unravel that and cultivate new beliefs that were more in support of where she was going, that really enabled her to not only feel the type of confidence to feel like herself again, but she was able to start a community center in her
Wow.
area and really do things that she felt called to do rather than continuing to repeat this cycle of people pleasing, trying to
Right.
live up to what people thought she should do and they thought she should be.
That's amazing that she could pinpoint one that moment happened for her, because being 4, I don't even know if I remember something that happened to me when I was 4. That's awesome. So if for you being a coach and having your master's in psychology, like, do you use a lot of the skills that you learned in school to be a psychologist within your coaching business?
Ooh, that is a spicy one. I love how you asked that question. For me, with having a master's and a bachelor's in psychology, intellectually, we learn things in school, we
Right.
adopt things, and until we truly live it and experience it, at least in my line of work,
Yeah. Mhm.
because how can we truly guide and support someone in being their most confident selves and bringing the fullness of who they are into their dreams, how can we truly guide and support them unless we have experienced that? And so, yes, not only do I intellectually, I lean on, that education. I also self-educate. I read a lot of books. I go to a lot of conferences and workshops to maintain that mental state of what's going on. However, it's when you're so enthralled in your work that you don't have to rely on that just exists in the background. It's more of it's more of like a background, like inner narrative type of thing, to where I don't have to, when someone comes to me, I don't have to say, oh, hold on, pause. Let me look up to see what theory of modality, it's just, it's just in there, and it's so ingrained in who I am at this point.
Sure. But there's similar skill sets that are required for both, right? Because I became a certified life coach a long time ago. And like, there's a lot of, and I've gone through a lot of therapy, and I noticed that there are some similarities in the way that you approach things with the different modalities. So I just think it's interesting that someone that was in psychology is now a coach. I think it kind of gives you like a leg up a little bit to help them achieve their goals a little bit faster. I could be wrong though.
That was so beautifully said. But yes, you completely recognize that for what it is. And I feel so free, because when I was in high school, I wanted to be a clinical psychologist, which meant that I would get licensed and I would have to do things their way, the state's way, the company or organization that I worked for, I would have to do it in their way. Well, guess what? Because I am an entrepreneur, I get to do things my way. I get to truly live label free in this way, because I get to curate and tailor things based on my journey, based on my client's journey, based on what I see and what I'm talking about, that I don't have to feel like I am living inside of a box, that I'm not constrained to who I help, how I help, and to the depths of which I can help people.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you it's a beautiful thing. So what does the process look like if someone says, oh my gosh, I connected with Charlsy and I really want to work with her? What does that look like if they want to get started with you?
Yes. Another beautiful question. I have to say, you're an amazing podcast host, and your listeners are so blessed to be under your umbrella, to be able to learn from you and grow with you, and just the space you have created is absolutely amazing, Deanna. And so if somebody feels compelled to reach out to me? Of course, I'm on Instagram. Of course, the podcast can greatly serve you as well. It is in my heart to where no matter where you are on your journey of self-worth and confidence and getting to know yourself, that you are safe and supported and seen in my world. And so I have, like I said, I have social media. I have a podcast. Both of those are high value.
What's the name of the podcast?
Seeing your inner brilliance.
Okay, perfect.
And I also have currently 6 programs to support people in any area. And so those programs range from, hour and a half or 2-hour master classes to a full 12-week program. You can also work with me one-on-one. So my desire and intention is to truly create an atmosphere where big dreamers can thrive, whether it is just tuning into a social media post, whether it's tuning into an episode, that no matter what, they walk away feeling seen, valued, and supported.
I love that. And what is your Instagram?
Charlsey_Childers.
Excellent. And then do you also have a website?
Yes, it's charlseychilders.com.
And can we find all those things on your website?
Absolutely.
You guys, I'm going to put those links in the show notes. So if you connected with what Charlsy shared today, do not hesitate to go follow her on Instagram, TikTok, go follow her show, her podcast, and check out her website. If anything that you're feeling is drawn to her, don't hesitate to reach out, because she's absolutely lovely. And I'm sure she'd love to have at least set up a call, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like there's a book in there somewhere for you.
Oh, that is so yummy and delicious. What type of book is anything coming up for you as far as the
I just think like what your brand is. I think it's beautiful. You know, you just the name of your show, Seeing Your Inner Brilliance, and kind of talk about your journey to becoming to where you are today. I love people that have like are corporate refugees because corporate doesn't work for me either. There's a whole reason why I started the show. One of the reasons. And I love to hear these people's my guest stories of them breaking out of corporate and really following their purpose and their path, which you whatever it may be. And it's such a beautiful. They're always so beautiful, the stories. So I just think that there's a story, there's a book in there for you somewhere. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
No, I think you're right, Deanna. I think you're right. I have been
Yeah, I knew it.
waiting up for that one for a while. So yes, you are another evidence and physical manifestation that is
Well,
unfolding.
there we
It's
go.
gonna happen.
Beautiful. Excellent. Well, with that being said, Charlesy, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for less words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
Yes, thank you so much, Deanna. So I feel really compelled right now that, of course, I'm talking to someone who has something on their heart they want to do something in this world. Maybe they've been stewing over it for a while and they don't know how. And I just want to encourage and pour into you that whatever you're thinking about, whatever is on your heart, that it is possible. And that because you're called to it, you are equipped for it. And no, you may not know the how. No, you may have people around you saying that you can't do it, that it's not possible, that it's unrealistic. Keep tuning into you, keep leaning into you, because leaning into you is never a wrong decision and it'll never lead you down an unsupportive path. Like whenever you lean into yourself, the most absolutely amazing things can happen. And so I really encourage you to truly live label free, desire that, strive for that, and do that by focusing on who you are inside, on truly seeing your inner brilliance and leaning into that, getting to know that person inside of you and unpacking, unfolding what you want for your life, because it is so, so possible. And like I said, because you're called to it, you are equipped for it. And as you solidify your sense of self, you will solidify your calling. So just keep going, keep leaning into it, keep focusing on you, tell everybody else to be quiet, put on the blinders, and just keep going down that path.
Woo! That was beautiful. I love it. Well, Charlesy, it's been so great to have you as a guest today. I love what you're all about, and I can't wait to watch you continue to expand your reach with your message. And I'll be keeping an eye out for that book.
Oh. I love it. Thank you so, so much, Deanna, for having me. Thank you for everybody tuning in. And yeah, I see greatness for all of you. I know that greatness is inside, and just have the courage to step into it.
Woo, even more. You're leaving us with even more goodness. Well, on that note, you guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.